This is the Need for Speed Most Wanted E46 M3 GTR. Frank built this badass machine, and today we're going to dive into the build. Frank has a lot of really cool cars, including a Mark IV Super. You can check him out on Instagram and YouTube as P1 Racing. So let's get into this thing.
Guys, this is my passion for the last 4 years, is my M3 GTR.
This thing is absolutely insane. I have to know what inspired you to spend the last 4 years making this recreation of the Need for Speed car.
So it was a big mistake. I was looking at a drift car on Craigslist. This is 2019, I want to get into drifting. And the car was already painted with the Need for Speed livery, but had a whole history behind. This car went to SEMA, it was some Pass Mag magazine, it was on the cover of the magazine. And when I saw the ad, I pretty much talked to the owner at the time, and I'm like, hey, is this what this car really is? It has all those options. It has a cage already in it. I'll come and get it today. And legit, I got him on the phone. I'm like, I'll get a trailer. I'll be there the very next morning. Tell me a little bit about the car. So he gave me all the ins and outs of the parts that were missing. And when I got it, I found out there was a lot of things that were missing. So it was pretty much a shell with a blown V8.
A true project car.
A true project car. So this car actually inspired me to have P1 Racing because I called Project 1. And I went P1 because I used to go kart and I'm always about the racing stuff. So P1, I pretty much started with this car and it just took a life of its own.
So most of you guys probably recognize this as the Need for Speed hero car from the cover of the video game, and you could drive it in the game as well. In fact, we drive it on our simulators all the time, which is pretty neat to have the real thing here in our shop. But what makes this car special, Frank? Is it the body kit? Is it the wheels? Is it the engine? Is it the story of how you acquired it? What makes it so special to you that you spent 4 years building it?
So back in 2001, BMW came out with this car to beat the Porsches back in the races in American Le Mans. So they came out with the GTR model and it beat the Porsche for 8 or 9 races. So Porsche complained to the league and they were like, hey, you have to have a production car with like 100 units sold in order for you to keep that car racing.
Homologation spec.
That's pretty much it. And then they created that GTR car at that era. And then the video game went in when, you know, Need for Speed Most Wanted came out. It had this car and was the sickest one out of the whole game.
So in the game, it wasn't real. It wasn't a real life car. It was something that some video game creator dreamt up utilizing the GTR body kit and aesthetic, right? 100%. Then they put the livery on it and all that stuff. And then you've now gone back and made it a real thing.
They made it real. So the only thing that I noticed that is different is the color of the gold wheels. I wanted to have something different because every GTR that I've seen all over the world, there was one in Russia, there's another one here in the States that I know and has different colors. I just want to have something different.
Yeah.
But it goes change the wheels, but everything else is pretty much right on, including all the exterior parts, which we're going to go over, and I'll tell you more in details.
I got to know, where did you find this body kit? Because I can imagine this isn't something very easy to get.
So 2M Auto Works, they're local to San Diego. They were making this off the measurements of the real car. So he was making it by hand, and he had a prototype on his own car. So I found out about him, and then when I started talking to him, I said, I want to put that kit on. So he had only one kit sold, which was his own. And then the very second one and third, it was my build and another one that was going at the same time. So I had pretty much one of the first ones sold from 2M.
So it's not like you were able to just go purchase a body kit from the racing team or company that made the kits for the team. This is a full recreation using photos and imagery to replicate, which makes it even that much harder.
100%. I was very humbled to have that going on because I'm like, I really want that. When I got the car, there was gaps that were like, you know, very built. I'm not talking about, there was imperfections and I wanted to make the car perfect. You know, when I go in the build, I want to perfect every single aspect of it slowly, but it took 4 years, but it's here, you know, very stoked about how it came out.
This is probably the most iconic car of the entire franchise, and it is so cool, and I'm like peeking out to see it in person. I love this car. I don't know if you know like the full story of the Most Wanted car in the game, Mickey, but when you
I don't, because I didn't play this game. So I was in the Gran Turismo.
So when you start the game, correct me if I'm wrong, if I remember correctly, you start with this car. This is your car in the game.
Oh,
and then in the first race, the very first race, you lose this car to the main antagonist in the game, and you spend the rest of the game trying to get this car back. So it's got I love it. It's
well,
so
that
good.
explains where the hook comes in and why you would want to own this, because
Yeah.
you spend your whole time in the video game trying to get it back.
Yeah, so it's got so much character to it, so much style. I love it. It's so good.
So the exterior is super polarizing, but there's a lot to it as well. I mean, beyond just a paint job and a body kit, it looks like you've replaced all the glass with Lexan componentry. So it is lightweight. We'll get to the inside in a minute because I see a bunch of stuff in it that's grabbing my attention, but you've got a fully functional aero wing on here. I mean, this thing is solid as can be. You could probably stand on it.
This is carbon trunk, and this goes in and attached to the inside of the car as well.
You can tell because it does not move.
Carbon here, carbon here, carbon grill, yep.
Nice.
So it's pretty light, but I wanted to have something, carbon doors and everything else, but I wanted to, the doors were pretty much when I got it were like nothing on it. I wanted to have a window so I could drive and take it to shows and stuff like that, and also take it to the track.
So it was
I put
gutted.
it was completely gutted. It was good that I was seeing the paint and the color. It motivated me to keep going, and I wanted the history of the car to be out there, because people kept hit me up on Instagram and say, hey, when are you going to post this? People from Dubai, from the Middle East, from everywhere in the world. There's a big following in the car for sure, man.
Wow.
That's sick. What I love about this one, so there's a couple of M3 GTR replicas around, but a lot of them are just factory E46 M3s, like full interior. It's got the straight six in it still. It's not this is like an all-out race car.
It's basically a kit and a paint job.
And
on
you're going to
stock
track
This is I'm definitely gonna track this thing. Yo, come on, we're gonna track it, baby. You already know. So this is very close to the real car. The real car is 444 horsepower, the V8. This is 425 to the wheel. So it's very close, but it's not a BMW engine. So that will be for the next surprise.
Nope, you don't know yet.
But the essence of the game is it's a GT3 race car. It's a GTR, right? So having the Lexan windows fits, having the carbon fits, having the cage fits. It's not just like a kit on it. It's like it is the car. And I would imagine, it's a race car, so it's not perfect. It's not meant to be. It's meant to be driven and driven hard and be light, And that's what this is, which is so good. That's why I love it.
I want people to see and enjoy when they get to see this, because it brings back memories. Like for me, I had this car sitting in the garage with much nicer cars, and I did not care about my other cars. I'm like, this is what I want to build. I don't care about the other cars I have. Like, this is it, This is the main passion why I kind of started my page and started posting videos on YouTube, because all the other builds I was sharing on my personal stuff. So this was it, That's how it started.
I love it, man. Well, let's carry on. The exterior is really cool. Is there anything else you want to mention about the outside? I mean, it does have side pipes.
The pipes
are those functional?
That's definitely functional.
Not just for looks?
It's cut underneath, and you can see through the carb. So comes through there.
The floor pan is pocketed for it.
100%, and then this sticks out. It's pretty much very well designed, just like the race car. So, this splitter goes all the way back. This is also made by, this is all carbon, it goes all the way in. So you got some downforce on the front end.
Super sturdy and purposeful.
Yeah, you can almost step on it. It's pretty solid.
Let's not do that. I don't want to break it.
I know.
I love all the carbon you have on here. There's carbon everywhere.
So we got, full carbon here, carbon there. It's pretty much a lot of carbon fiber.
Yes. Frank, pop the hood.
Let's go, baby.
Whoa, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I heard it, and you can hear one of these from a mile away, but dang, dude, this is sick.
Thank you.
So you said about 425 wheel?
To the wheel, yep.
One of the reasons I think this car was so iconic was because of the sound when you were driving.
The GTR race cars were V8s?
They were, yeah. They were BMW V8s.
Wow. The transmission on the video game car was insane.
Yeah, the straight cut gears sounded
like,
so good.
It was like the best.
The best sounds ever.
Yeah. It was the best car to play with, and man, to have a real car like this and get to show people is just amazing. It'll be a big plus for everybody, to get to see this on the road.
So I'm excited that you're actually going to get some track time, because I'm hoping that we can maybe do that together.
100%.
All of us.
Let's do it. That'll be
load up the trailers and get out and do
I'm ready.
I love it when we get our Fast and Furious cars out on track. So seeing this on track is going to be awesome.
People lose their mind.
Yeah.
If I see this on the road with like your car, I'll lose it.
What world are we living in?
I know. Like, what is it, Gran Turismo or Need for Speed? What are we talking about here,
Got all the bits to go fast. Now let's see what it looks like inside.
Inside, we got the Recaros. So the Recaros are too aggressive, I think, for street driving. I don't know how...
Yeah, this is a bit of a blind spot.
Yeah,
I think.
100%. Then we got the carbon doors that we added on, so make it light.
Jeez. Those are nice. Frank actually has very functional parts on this car. This is a total door skin replacement. It looks like the E46 panel.
Yeah, the door handles
so
too.
much so that the door handles and speaker grills even fit, which is pretty cool. And then inside, what do we got it?
We got the racing seats.
3, 4, 5, 6, 6-point cage, full halo, cross brace. Very nice. This was in the car when you got it?
This was in the car, so this was spec'd for some type of racing. It's spec'd because I removed, because here's what it was. For me, I'm a little bigger guy. So when I had this was, it was a cross, it was like a little piece here, and you can see the car right there. So I cut it, made it lower for now. If I start getting serious about racing with this, and I can always modify back, but this is what it was for me to get in and out, and this seat is really tight. You gotta definitely remove the steering wheel, but then we also added the Holley EFI, management system, and the carbon fiber dash, which took a while to get this one because it was completely custom.
Yeah, it matches the door cards perfectly too,
100%,
which is really nice. So it's basically a dash shell. Because you've removed the heater core, air conditioning, all that stuff, so you really just need a cover
100%.
to make it look like a functional dashboard.
And credit to the first owner that built this car. It was like a garage build. He already had the car, a lot of it, like the gauge and everything else was already gutted, and I just took it to the next level to make it perfect in my eyes and make it finish. And the way I got it, it just needed work.
You have an eye for detail and a level of quality of your builds, and I know that it will be when it's actually finished. So
I've known Frank for a long time, and to see this thing actually out of his garage is so nice. It's so refreshing because it's such a cool car. You know?
And I didn't give up on it because there was a lot of ups and downs with the build, and man, there was a lot of people that I want to thank for that helped with the build. There was a couple of the homies that came out, and they're at 1 in the morning helping me out. We removed the engine. We went to San Francisco to get a new LS3 and removing up and down, thanks to this guy here as well. Quinn has been a big part of this project with me, and it's definitely, man, it's amazing to see a finished product, and just driving in and out of this garage I'm very thankful.
Really good, huh? You want to fire it up?
Yeah, 100%.
yeah, let's hear this thing. All right. You got the keys?
No keys.
No keys.
The true sign of a race car.
Straight race car, baby.
Woo-hoo! Spicy! Spicy!
Sounds so good. Yeah.
American muscle, baby.
Doesn't sound like a little straight six.
I know.
That's for sure.
So what else? Is there anything else? I mean, the wheels obviously are very special. You mentioned those earlier. This is a bit of a different look for this particular car because they weren't on it in the movie, but this is a pretty special set of wheels, right? This is an actual race set.
BBSs, there are in a lot of Porsches, it wasn't a real GTR car as well, so we pretty much got the same wheel.
Oh, so
and it had to be all custom to this back here on the build.
So you just changed the colorway. The wheel's the same.
That's it. The wheel's the same. Same exact wheel. I just wanted a gold because I have that on my Supra. And
yeah, all right. I see the heritage there. All right.
And you know, if you look at the gold and the blue, it still looks really awesome.
Classy.
You know, it's classy. Yep.
That's one of the fun things about the Fast and Furious cars that we do is we kind of like add our own little twist to it and
modern
customize
take
it and make it how we want it to be and make the cars ours essentially, which is what this is. It's really cool.
You know, just all the carbon stuff that we're doing and the mods, and you know, who knows what this going to be in a few years. If I want to go crazy with power, you know, if I feel like, hey, it's not enough for the track, let's send it. You know, the setup is there, so it's going to be a lot of fun, man. I'm very thankful that all the help I had, and you know, he is a big part of it. There's a lot of the close homies there, like they are happy because they were part of this build. So it was a whole team that was behind me because I couldn't do it by myself. So I'm not a builder. Like I don't get, yes, I take interiors out. I take some things apart myself, but you know, I'm an office guy. So I work at the office, but this is my passion. And the car builds for the last 15 years have been my passion for sure.
Well, I mean, you visit us here at the shop a lot. You're definitely a car guy through and through, and we all know that. And I think one of the things that we all love about the car community is that the support that we get from one another, and that's what makes it cool and fun. And then meeting up on the weekends to do car meets and stuff like that, it just brings it all together. So it's neat to hear that you know, it took a team to put this together. This wasn't just Frank for 4 years every night working on it.
Absolutely. I couldn't have done without them. So this is a win for everyone. Sure. And on top of all that, the parts, throtl is like, for me, I could compare it to Amazon because all the parts on this build and my other builds, I get it within like a day or two.
Speedy
and you guys
parts.
deliver speed 100%. And it helps a lot on this when we're missing parts or where you run into a problem. That's when you guys came handy, and all the guys in the back office with the sales
And believe
team.
it or not, we're mostly JDM and Euro guys around here, but we do have a lot of domestic engine parts. So if you guys have a US made car, that doesn't mean we don't have parts for you.
And it's supporting the homies as well, supporting the family. It's one family. It's the car community, baby.
So you guys at home, speak up here because we have never done a video game recreation yet. We've done a lot of the Fast and Furious cars, and we have friends that have done all of the Fast and Furious cars. So we're around that all the time, but we've never actually done a video game car. Frank is the first that's brought one by for us to check out. Maybe we should do one. Is there a car in a video game that you guys think is iconic enough for us to recreate?
I don't think it's about necessarily being iconic, just like having the passion and the love.
You don't want to build it and then go drive it and nobody recognizes it.
The other thing is there are a lot of video games with just not really this level of iconic cars.
Yeah,
you know,
that's
so
true.
what cars do you pick?
Well, we'll leave that up to them.
Here you go. I like that. I like that. Hey, whatever you guys pick, make sure it matches that or goes with this car. It'll be insane.
Yeah, because we'll take them out on a cruise.
How cool would that be? How cool would that be? If your throtl makes a video game car for you guys, that's just...
That'd be awesome. I'd love that. So that's going to be it for Frank's E46 M3 GTR from Need for Speed Most Wanted. Frank, thank you for bringing the car out, dude. It is so good to see this thing out.
I appreciate it. Thanks to you guys.
Such a nice build, and I cannot wait to see it finished, and I cannot wait to see it on track.
Yes, that's what I want to see.
Yeah, that'll be the day. So
yes.
Thank you guys so much as always for watching. Don't forget to drop a comment down below. What do you think of this beautiful build? And we'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace. Before Frank takes his car back, you guys know we had to put it in a lineup with all the Fast and Furious cars. Check this out. Woo! This looks so good.